Have you been thinking about investing in real estate? Maybe buying a property to flip? Real estate can be a great investment for many different reasons. But we're not going to get into those reasons today, because today an opportunity popped up for you. A single family home that might have a ton of potential. But we don't have a lot of time to make a decision. We need to figure out the potential of that home on the fly. Hey everyone, Kyle Anderson with Liberty Core Real Estate. And today, let's figure out if this house is a good investment. Okay, so we got the address, we're all set to go, but first things first, we're gonna start our analysis on the computer. We want to figure out the after repair value or the ARV. Now, depending on what you wanna do with the property, if you wanna flip it, or maybe you wanna hold it as a rental, those numbers are gonna differ. For the purpose of this video, we're gonna look at it as a flip. We start with the facts about our subject property. Most of the time, these are found on the county assessor's website. We are looking for square footage of the home, number of bedrooms, bathrooms, if there's a garage, size of the lot, style of the house, anything we can find online, and any information that the seller has already given us. Now, once we have our facts about our home, we want to find comparable homes that have sold recently in the area. The area you look and how far back you go will vary, but you want to get a good sample size of comparable homes, maybe a half dozen to a dozen that are comparable with the facts that you already have on your subject property. Take a look at price per square footage and photos of these comparable homes. Your end goal is to determine what your subject property will sell for when it's completely fixed up or completely remodeled. Few words of caution here. You are looking at comparable properties that have sold in the past. Exactly what an appraiser would do when someone buys your finished product. Try to avoid things like, oh, I can do a better job, or the market's going to be different when I sell my house and the house is going to appreciate. Maybe the market might be hotter. That might be the case when you go to sell your house. But I look at that as the icing on the cake. You want to stay as conservative as possible when you are doing your numbers for your analysis. Let's head over to that property. As I get into the neighborhood of the property, or as I get closer to the property, I start taking a look at all the other houses and seeing how they look, what condition they're in, seeing if there's cars parked in the yard, just putting myself in the eyes of what a buyer would see. Once I get onto the street of the house that we're looking at, I take a look at all the other houses, especially the houses on the two sides of the house. Ideally, you want all the other houses to be palaces, and you're buying the worst house on the block, but that's never the case. So we're going to take a look at the exterior first. And when I'm looking at these houses, I like to stay realistically optimistic. I want to put myself in the shoes of a buyer when they come to buy this later on. What are they going to see? Is there anything about the neighborhood that I can't change? And we always have our notepad on us to take notes. Looking at the exterior, what kind of exterior is it? Is it vinyl? This one looks like some kind of stucco. This has a front porch. It's not in great shape. Maybe something that needs redone. Windows, I kind of leave until the inside of the house. And then one of the big things is the roof. Does the roof need repaired? You're gonna look at the foundation on the inside of the house, but outside of the house too, you wanna see what kind of shape it's in. Looks like this one is a brick foundation, and they've done a little bit of tuck pointing. And they also have done a little bit of mortar on the outside of that brick. Looks like there's a little bit of rot on the house. The yard needs some work. But again, remember what yards looked like on the comparables that we saw. There is a little bit of cleanup to do in the back. And there's this tree. It is the winter, so you're not too sure how healthy it is, but it's big. And if it needs to be taken out, it's going to cost some money. So the first thing you're going to notice when you walk into a house is the temperature different than the outside temperature? This one, the heater is working. And then the smell. This one doesn't smell too bad. Sometimes you can smell some smoke. You can smell some animals. This one really just smells like paint. I did look up the year before I came, and this one was about 120 years old. These are probably original windows. Again, did the houses that I looked up as comparables have new windows, and what did they sell for? That's going to be a big determining factor on if the windows need replaced or if they should be replaced. It looks like this does have vents. That's a good thing. Sometimes houses this age might have been on a boiler, but I don't see that here. A lot of cracking in the walls and the ceiling, pretty typical for the age of the house. I'm guessing a lot of the walls are plaster. A lot of space on this main floor, which is a good thing. You know, the more space, the more a home could sell for, but the more you have to fix up. Other than if you replace the windows and doors, bedrooms don't really take a lot of money. The big money is going to be in the kitchens and bathrooms. Looks like on this main floor we have 2 bedrooms, the living room we came in on, and then there's a bathroom here, full bath. How far do I want to take this bath? Depends on those comparables we looked at. So making note of how much it's going to cost me. We got a laundry chute. That's cool. So now we get to the kitchen. Probably the most amount of money you're going to spend in a house, especially if it needs all remodeled. One thing I look for is where is the plumbing at, or the sink, where is the gas or the electrical for the stovetop. This one's gas. Just knowing if I have to do everything in this kitchen, how's it going to lay out? Okay, enough of this remodel first floor thing. Let's go look at the most important part of the house, the basement. So as we see here again, brick foundation. Geez, this thing was built like a tank. So it looks like we have a forced air gas furnace. What's nice in our area is the local gas company does put a sticker on them to tell what year they are. This one's 1991, so it's older. We know it works. It's warm upstairs, it's cold outside, but maybe having someone check it. Water heater, let's just go test and see if the water's warm. It is definitely an older system. Looks like we got our water meter over here. This is where the water comes in from the street. It's got a valve on the street side, valve on the house side. So I do like to see this. This is the main plumbing stack to the house. At one time, this was all cast iron, and someone's come in and replaced it with plastic. It also has a plastic cap down here. So it looks like someone's gotten into the sewer before, maybe jetted it out, maybe ran a camera. You have your washer lines here for your hot and cold water. Looks like electrical dryer plug-in here. You might not be able to see, but back here is the electrical box. It is an updated box with breakers. That's great to see. All in all, nothing really too scary in this basement. Nothing that's going to deter me from buying the house. Foundation looks good. About as good as a 120-year-old foundation could look. Maybe you'd need to replace the water heater at some point, but no. Let's go look at the rest of the house. One thing I like about these 2 stories is you get to a window where you can see the roof. This roof looks pretty good. I don't see a lot of divots or anything from hail damage or storms, so we're good there. So another bathroom here on the 2nd floor, and this one just has a tub. If you want to put a shower in, obviously you can't put it on this side. Do I want to move the water over here? Is it worth it? Thinking about the comparables that we saw before, should you have a full bath on the upstairs? Something to think about. Just a ton of space in this house, which is nice because a lot of it is bedroom space. Areas that you're not going to dump a ton of money into. Okay, I think I got everything I need. I'm going to go back and maybe look up some prices, add up everything that I think this home needs, and compare that to what my after repair value was and see if it makes sense. Okay, so we got our notes from the house on what repairs need to be made and what upgrades need to be done. We need to figure out if we're going to hire out all the work or we're going to do some of it ourselves. Remember, your time is important too, and it is worth something. And always round up your estimate numbers to be safe. Now, we want to figure out what the total project cost will be, and along with this, you need to factor in holding costs. Are you financing the purchase or financing the repairs? What interest are you paying on that? Remember, property taxes, homeowners insurance, utilities, those are all holding costs. Figure out how long the project's going to take you. And also remember, there will be closing costs when you go to sell the property. Now, take that after repair value that we figured out before and subtract all the expenses to figure out what you're going to make. But remember, the IRS is going to want some of that in the form of capital gains. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you have any questions, comment below or get a hold of me. I'd love to answer them for you.